Hi, I'm Paul Darwin from Riga Research in England. Today we're going to have a look at our range of loudspeakers, which to some people are probably the best kept secret of our entire manufacturing output. Although we have in truth been making loudspeakers since the late 80s, around about 1989 was the first loudspeakers that we made. And it was very apparent very early on that to get the kind of performance we wanted from loudspeakers, that we'd have to keep all of the production in-house, so that the cabinets were very tightly designed according to the requirements of the range, and the drive units are also made in-house. That's the tweeters, the bass mid-range units and the bass unit. The tweeters are really interesting because they employ a technology called zero rear reflection, which, as it suggests, means that the reflected signal from the rear of the tweeter doesn't mix with the forward projected sound from the tweeter, which can cause confusion and phase cancellation. So the high frequencies are particularly accurate. In all loudspeakers of multi-drive unit loudspeakers, there has to be a crossover. Now, ideally, the best crossover is no crossover. So by definition, the simpler the crossover, the better. And the crossovers we employ, that we make in-house, are desperately simple. There's no filtering at all. So the integration of the drive units is achieved very simply. The bass mid-range units and the bass units are all manufactured in-house, down to piece part. All of the voice coils are wound, so we have complete control over every aspect of the loudspeaker's design and manufacture, which means that there's incredible accuracy in terms of musical reproduction and consistency across the range. Let's have a look at the range of loudspeakers as we have them here today. The first one is the RS1 loudspeaker, a two-way bookshelf model, which can be stand mounted, or, as I say, as a bookshelf, and it can in fact be mounted on the wall. It's very flexible, and in a small room is absolutely perfect. The first of the floor standing loudspeakers is the RS3 loudspeaker, which has an in-house manufactured tweeter, a bass mid-range unit, forward facing, and a side facing bass unit. This is also very flexible with regard to room placement. The bass unit itself is in a transmission line which ports at the front here, so they can be used very close to a rear wall. The floor standing loudspeakers that employ the side firing bass units do allow a huge degree of flexibility with regard to in-room placement. In a larger room, it would be more appropriate to have the bass unit firing on the outside of the loudspeakers. If space is limited, then you would employ the bass unit on the inside, meaning that the first reflection in a seated position wouldn't be from the bass unit, so you can tailor the bass response quite easily by the positioning of the loudspeaker. The last of the speakers that we have with us today is the RS5 loudspeaker, which again has a similar drive unit configuration as the RS3, forward-facing tweeter, bass mid-range unit and a side-firing bass unit with a bigger voice coil and a bigger surface area. Again, it ports out of the front, meaning it can be placed very close to a rear wall. The one speaker we don't have with us, which is the RS Vox loudspeaker, which is for AV use and forms a centre channel in a 5.1 system. Because of the flexibility that Riga speakers have, they can be used in virtually any domestic situation, and there are models at price points and sizes that will ensure the best possible musical reproduction in any given domestic situation.